Hi everyone, it's Desiree. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me for another video. Today I'm going to talk about making a Frankenplanner system. So there are a couple of ways that I've used this. Currently I'm using a Frankenplanning system right now, but I've also done a different variation of this type of system in the past. So I'm going to go over both of those ways. If you're not sure what a Frankenplanner is, it's basically taking planners, if you have multiple planners, and putting them all into one. So kind of like Frankenstein taking pieces and making his monster, just making all these pieces fit and make it work for like one planner system. So I'm going to go over the first way that I used this system in the past to make planners more aesthetically like my taste, because that's how I first started using this type of system. So in the past, I actually have my initial Frankenplanning system right here. This is my old planner that I didn't like. I love this cover. So this is why I did this Frankenplanning system, because I loved this cover. I loved the Teresa Collins cover. And then I loved like the inside. It was really pretty. I didn't like this peach color. This was where my problem started with this planner. And I've got a bunch of things in here. Let me go over here. So I liked this page right here. I didn't like these monthlies because they had this shading, which in the past they used to do this a lot. Now they've kind of gone away from doing a lot of design on the planners, which I appreciate. I know a lot of other people want them to go back to this. I wish they would do more of a mix of both so that like people could be happy on either side. But because of this, I did not like this layout. I did not like this spread because I didn't like these color block situation on the weekends. I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite. The other thing I didn't like in this planner was the lines, the peach lines, because then I felt like, oh my gosh, I have to make that coordinate in every spread. And it was such a pain to have to like not pay attention to it or try to tie it into the spread. I like more of a neutral layout. In the past, they didn't come out with neutral layouts that I liked. So that was something that I had to kind of work around. So for a while, I kind of just dealt with it. I would just cover it up, kind of just, had to deal with it. But eventually, I believe, yes, there was another planner where I was able to Frankenplan a system and take pieces from another planner and tape them together and make a planner that fit more what I wanted. So I loved the dividers in this planner because they were very neutral. I loved all the tabs. They were just, I like this one. I didn't want to get rid of the dividers, so I kept the dividers. But I didn't, oh my gosh, I used to, and I remember what I did with this one. I went extra with this one. Okay, so what I used to do is I would take, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. But I'm going to explain what I did because, yeah. So I would take a clean layout like this, and I would cut out this piece right here. I would cut this out. And then I would tape it onto here. So that way I had a neutral, no shaded box. So see how this one has no shades, but this one had the shaded. It's still the same, like outside part has the design, it has those colors here. But I took, like you can kind of see right here, I taped it together and made my own neutral layout. Just making my own little Frankenplanning situation right here. And then I think I used the first week of the previous layout. I used these, which had this design going down the middle. Sometimes I didn't like that either, so I would cover that up and dealt with it. But then for the rest of the week, I would change into a new planner. So you can kind of tell right here, this is a different layout. Like this one over here didn't have a little calendar section, which you can't really see. Let's see, do I have one? You can kind of see. No, I always covered this up. But this is from a completely different planner because I liked these black lines. You can tell actually by the dates that I was pulling pages from a different planner. So yes, I was piecing together this planner so that way I could have black lines, because black goes with everything. So I made that change, and I pieced together a planner that fit more my style. So again, I kept the divider. I glued together these neutral pages and covered up those color blocked weekends. I used the first week from the original planner, and then I switched to the more neutral planner. That's what I used to do. So yeah, if you don't like certain dividers, but you like the layout, you could definitely change out the dividers. You can change out this currently page, because I actually prefer the currently page that is in another planner. Okay, like this one right here. This one I feel like is better for what I use this currently page for, which I use it for memory keeping, because there's more space here. So I would have totally taken this, stuck this here, and taped the pages together. Again, that was something I was doing already to begin with, because see, I taped these together. I think this was this one had a very colorful currently page. I was taping a lot of things in here, so that made it very chunky, but it made a planner that I loved, because I was able to piece it all together and make all the neutral pages I wanted. And yeah, it just worked for me, this way of doing it. Eventually though, they did come out with a neutral layout, so I didn't have to do that for the whole year, but for the first half of the year, this is what I was doing. So that is one way. If you like dividers from a certain planner, but it's not in the layout that you like say for instance, you love these dividers from this planner, but you don't like the dividers from this one, but you like this layout, you have options to change things up how you want. So yeah, you can change out the dividers, you can mix and match things. I recommend using some good adhesive. I like to use this Tombow just to tape pages together. So that's how I used to Frankenplan in the past. I don't do this anymore. Thank goodness I don't have to do this anymore, since they do come out with very neutral layouts now that I don't have to do that, thankfully. I'm so happy about that. But I do Frankenplan in a different way now. So this is my Frankenplanner right now. And if you're like me and you like to use way too many planners and for all the different things that you have going on in your life that you like to categorize, this started becoming way too much. Like, this became a little overwhelming. So for me, sometimes I'm not always planning at my desk, like sitting at a chair, planning on a table. Sometimes I like to, you know, take it to the bed or a couch and, you know, write while I'm on the computer or watching TV. And this became way too much for me to deal with, to like kind of lug around. And yeah, it became overwhelming for me. So if you're like me and you have way too many planners and it's becoming a little bit too much, but you want to use these because you like having these different categories and using these different layouts, I would suggest trying to Frankenplan them all together into one planner, because this has been working out a lot better for me. So I have a few planners in here. Now, I'm gonna admit, I don't use them all because right now some of them aren't serving their purpose for me. So I'm gonna have to edit this down a little bit in the future. But right now I'm gonna show you like all the planners that I currently have in here. So right now I have a couple of months of my catch-all planner. I usually like to keep 2 to 3 months of my catch-all, which is basically my vertical planner. So I have, this is like my main plans for the week. So I have 2 months of that in here. And then next I have a budget section, a social media section, I have a meal planning section, I have a journaling section, which I'm not using right now, which is why it's blank, and a fitness section, which I'm not using now either, which is why it's blank, and then I have a note section in the back. So I like to have all of the different planners that I'm currently using all in here, and that way everything is in one spot. and it's all together. So this has been super helpful to do it this way. And it's very, very easy to put together. I would first start off with like how you want your planner to look. For me, I love using these frosted covers because I have more options when it comes to changing out like paper and vellum and just making it more like custom for what I like. So this has been my favorite option. Pick your discs, your favorite discs. So I'm going to use this one as my example. So I have this planner, which actually is super cute with all the cats. And like I said, I usually keep around like 2 to 3 months of my regular catch-all planner in the front. I feel like whatever's the most important, I kind of keep that in the front. And then I go down from there, like which one's the next one that I need to work on, the most important ones in the front. And then go down in that order. Here, this is another thing that you could always switch out to if you don't like that name page. I mean, I have this name page I've been using from a different planner. I just like the way that one looks, so I've been using that one. But you could totally switch things out. Like maybe I want to put this nameplate or name page here instead, because that one is really, really cute. And then I always keep these here at a glance. Again, you can decide if you want to keep all this or not. Sometimes this just adds extra bulk. It's not a lot, but if you don't need it, then you can always take it out. And then again, I keep around 2 to 3 months, depending on how many planners you are planning on putting in here. Then you can decide how many months you want to keep, however, how thick you want it to be. If you want it to be a little bit chunky, or sometimes some people want it a little bit thinner, so that way it's not as heavy, because you know they do get heavy once you add everything in. But I usually feel like 2 to 3 months is pretty good, just in case like something comes up in like the next month, or I usually don't plan ahead too far in advance. So I feel like 3 months for me is pretty good. If I needed to go into my monthly for October, I could just, you know, put a sticky note in here real quick, and it's kind of like all here. So the next thing I would do is pick like the next category that's kind of important to you. For me, that would be my social media section, since that's another thing, that's another important thing that I have to keep track of. So I would put that next, or I think I have budget next actually in my Frankenplanner, but I feel like social media or budget, those are always like for me my top two, the top ones that I need to have after my catch-all. So then I'll add the budget planner here. And then next I would do like, I have like some journaling pages, which if I get to them, I get to them. I usually keep that more to the back area. But I do have some of these like journaling prompt pages that I want to start doing here. So I can add that into this planner. I also put some notes too, a little note section in the back. And then also I have some special like pages that I like to keep for referencing. So I have some of these, and then like a note, a little folder. Put that in the back too. And then, I mean, if you want to add more planners, you can always add in more later on, or, you know, take things out. I have like a horizontal layout that I can add in here too. So right now I have, let's see, I have my catch-all planner, I have a budget, I have social media, I put a horizontal and a journal. So it's like 5 different planner systems or types of planners in here that I can flip through. All right, and then another thing that I would suggest, it's not like needed, but it does help to navigate this Frankenplanner system, especially if you have a lot of planners that you're going through in here, is to get some type of like divider system for you to be able to label. So these are great because they come from Love Posh, and she gives you like a sheet of different options. Honestly, like every option you can think of, she put on this sheet of little sticker labels that you can choose. So I have a budget section here. I have the social media, the meal plan, journal, fitness. I have a notes section down here. So yeah, all these little tabs. Again, a whole sheet of tabs that will fit like any category that you're thinking that you might use in this type of system. I really do like these side tabs. I just like the way it looks. But for me, I like it, but I've been cutting off the tabs of the planner, the dividers, which I don't mind, but I think I might go and get the top dividers instead. So that way I can leave the tabs here, and then I just have the tops labeled. So I would suggest getting the top label ones, which she currently has on her website. But yeah, this makes it just so much easier to find things, to just like, you know, go to your social media section right there and just find things easily, a lot easier in here, especially if you have a lot of planners. Okay, so that's basically it. It's a really easy system. It's a lot of fun to put together too, and it's a good way to keep everything together. I feel like I do use this a lot more than when I had everything separate, because it was very overwhelming for me to have everything, like way too many planners. I felt like it just had so many to go through. But this, since it's all in one, it doesn't feel like as much work for me to have to go through each one. So yeah, if you've been in that situation, or if you're currently in that situation where you're feeling overwhelmed by all your planners, but you don't want to get rid of your planners, try doing the Frankenplanner system. I know it's not going to work for everybody. For a while, I think I tried it and it didn't work for me. I had to be in a different type of mindset, I feel, for this to work for me. But it does now currently, and that's why I love it. So I just wanted to share this with all of you. I hope that you all enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, please hit that subscribe button. And I hope to see you all in the next one.